What is up, and welcome back to Prenatal Focus. This is your lower focus workout. Now for today, you will need dumbbells. Now, you do have the option, if you want to challenge yourself even more, you can add a band to some of these moves, and I'll let you know when those moves are. You probably honestly wear it for the whole entire workout if you wanted, but if you want that extra challenge, you can add a band. Just throwing that out there, but dumbbells are needed. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into today's workout. We are going to go ahead and get started with today's warm-up. I start with some squat folds in 2, 1. Go ahead and bring it on down to a squat and fold it forward for me. Now for today's workout, you have 4 rounds. Each round has 2 exercises, and you're repeating each round 4 times, okay? 4 rounds, 2 exercises each, repeating 4 times. It is 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. So pick your weight accordingly. Go ahead and give me some hip circles here if you need to. Go ahead and use a wall for some support. There you go. Good job. Keep moving it for me. You're doing great. Warming up. You're here today. Gonna get a workout in. We're gonna go to some butt kickers, but low profile. 2, 1. So right here, give me a good little half squat with it, and make sure to bring those heels back. If you need to, right here is fine too. Slow it down a little bit, okay? Now, if you want to, you can run it out. Totally up to you. I just want to make sure I'm not putting too much pressure on your pelvic floor right now. So you do what feels good to you. If you want to run this out, run it out. We have side to sides coming up next. 2, 1. Step it out wide for me. Let's go. Right here. A nice, good stretch in there. You will see this lateral lunge coming back in round 1. There you go. Sit back. Toes are forward. There you go. Core's nice and engaged. Awesome job. You're almost there. And relax. Grab some water for me, please. I want you to make sure you are staying nice and hydrated. Remember, it's super important, especially in the 3rd trimester. It's important throughout all pregnancy, but especially in the 3rd trimester, okay? So round 1, you have a sumo squat and then a lateral lunge. So go ahead, start getting your weight. I'm gonna talk through it. Sumo, wide stance. You can hold 2 weights down, 1 weight down, or you can load it up on your shoulders or hold 1 in your chest, okay? Totally up to you. Lateral lunge, we're focusing on one side at a time. We'll alternate each time we repeat the round, okay? So focus on one side at a time, and then we switch, all right? So go ahead, pick your weight. And again, you have 4 times that you're repeating. So see if you can challenge yourself each time. Listen to your body. Form is key. Remember, ready? 2, 1, let's go. Sumo squat right here. Now, I will talk through form come the 2nd time we repeat these. If you need to modify at all, you're going to limit the depth that you go down, and you're also going to limit the weight you use, okay? Now, like I said, if you wanted to use a band, you can definitely use a band. It's a little bit harder with sumo squats, but you can definitely use it if you wanted. And you can also use it with a lateral lunge. Go ahead and relax, which is coming up next, okay? So like I said, one side. You're focusing on one side. You're not alternating until the round is done, okay? So one side, you're stepping out and down. Now wait, go ahead and go in 2, 1, go. You can hold 1 down here. It's typically what I do. You can hold 2 if you want. You can hold 1 at your chest, or you can load it up on your shoulders. Completely up to you. Again, to limit the depth or the weight for modification. All right. Make sure you're keeping nice, good, and strong throughout your trunk and core. Relax. Back to that sumo. You're doing great. Great, breathe for me. Grab sips of water if you need to, okay? All right, we got 5. Can you go a little bit heavier? Or if you modify, can you modify a little bit less? Challenge yourself, okay? Here we go. Make sure you're breathing. Now I'm gonna talk through form, all right? So when it comes to a sumo, wider stance than normal. Toes are either out or forward. If they're out, slightly at an angle. Knees track in line with your toes, okay? No weeble wobbles. Rotate that pelvis, core is engaged. Slight hinge, chest stays up, down, push up. All 4 corners of your feet press into the ground, okay? But go ahead and relax. Let the weight through your heels help push you up, okay? We're going into lateral lunge next. I'm gonna talk about form for that as well, okay? I will show you from the side with the sumo on round 3, but that's the form for it, okay? Now lateral, you're doing the other side, okay? When it comes to lateral lunge, you're stepping out. The width, totally dependent on you, okay? Toes stay forward, no rocking up on that back foot, no bending this back leg. Back leg stays completely straight. You're sitting deep into your glute here, okay? Act like you're gonna go sit in a chair just with this one glute, okay? Toes are forward, knees, don't weeble wobble, okay? Go ahead, relax. Core stays engaged, and again, slight hinge, all right? Yeah, that sumo coming up for the 3rd time. What I want you to make sure of, while you have these slight hinges, it's not a big hinge. See, this is considered a hinge. This is me upright, slight hinge. Rotate your pelvis, core is engaged. This is your slight hinge. You're not doing this. Keep your shoulders back and down. Try and act like you're trying to get your shoulder blades into your back pocket here. All right, that'll help you stay with a nice, good form throughout this, okay? I don't want you hunching over, okay? Not only is that not great form for this move, but it's not good for your pelvic floor. You go ahead and rest. I'm gonna get a couple of in. You have that lateral lunge going back to that side you did the first time, okay? All right, just wanted to get a couple in. All right, and again, slight hinge here, okay? What I don't wanna see, go ahead and go, is this. All right, I don't wanna see this. Let me show you from the side what I'm talking about. I wanna see this. That's not a lateral lunge. What I want you to do, get your core nice and tight, hug the baby. As you step out, you're loading up, sitting back into the glutes, nice and strong here, core is engaged, slight rotation of your pelvis. Here, push up through your heel. Go ahead and rest. All 4 corners of your foot are still in the ground, okay? Don't let your toes lift up. That signifies to me your core can't help, all right? Going back to the sumo, last time. Ready? Here we go. There you go. Now, like I said, hold the weight however you want. If you want 2 dumbbells, if you want 1, if you want to hold them low, high, up to you. All right, as long as you're able to work form. If you have your dumbbells up here, you're gonna work your core a little bit more, okay? So just know that. So you have to make sure your core can engage properly. And relax. Whew, I don't know about you guys. Go ahead and grab a drink if you need to. You have that lateral lunge coming back up. I am like sweating already. And the sad thing is, I think it's just, other side, lateral lunge. Here we go. I think it's just from how hot it is in here. There you go, core's nice. Wrap your baby in a hug. Wrap them, all right? Really push off strong here. Let your glute help you get back up. And whoo, relax. Okay, round number 2. Keep moving for me. I want you to move around. You're gonna be on the ground, okay? I will talk about groundwork if this bugs you. All right, don't worry, you're gonna be on the ground. You're doing a glute bridge and hammy bridge. The only difference between the 2, hammy, you walk your feet out a little bit. If you want, grab a band. Totally okay to do, all right? I'm gonna show you, I'll bring this down, but I'll show you. If you need to, Prop up a pillow, a Bosu ball, exercise ball. Do this on your couch. Grab some towels. You want to put them upper back and up, okay? That will help you if laying on your back bothers you, okay? I'm gonna put this on in just a minute. If you're wearing a band, you put it right here. No weight. No weight on your belly, okay? Glute bridge. Ready? Here we go. Rotate your pelvis. Core is engaged. Up, down. I want you to come up strong. 1, 2, squeeze at the top. Lower 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up and back down. Again, if you need to, put a Bosu ball, perform this on the big exercise ball, get a bench, get a couch, cushions, towels, pillows, whatever, and just elevate your chest up off the ground, okay? Go ahead and relax. Now, you're gonna stay here. So if you need to, roll out for a little bit. I'm one of those women who can actually lay on her back for a long period of time while pregnant, and it not bug me. Hammy bridge. So go ahead and walk your feet out just a little bit like this. Rotate pelvis and begin. So you're not gonna go as high, all right? You're not gonna go as high. Your hammies are gonna kick in. If you feel like, oh, I don't feel like I have control over this, slightly in, push up. Okay, I don't want your feet back in normal position though. You have to have them extended out, okay? Rotate your pelvis, core is engaged, and then same motion as the glute bridge, and I want you to squeeze at the top, relax, and lower back down, okay? Going back to the glute bridge. And again, you can wear a band. You don't have to. If you don't have a band but you want a little bit of challenge, hold a weight overhead, okay? Ready? Glute bridge. Slow that lower down. So I want you to barely touch the floor, go back up, squeeze for about 2, 3 seconds, and slowly lower for a 3 or 4 count. Tap the floor, back up. All right? Now, here's the thing. Make sure your pelvis stays in that neutral position for both of these moves. I do not want you arching your back. Keep your core engaged. Relax. Walk it out. Find that sweet spot. This is gonna be your hammies. All right, again, same form for everything else. The only difference here is your feet are extended out a little bit. Your legs, sorry. Ready? Rotate, core is engaged. Up, squeeze. Down 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up and back down. Very good. You're doing awesome. Push for me. Now, if you're wearing a band, your goal is to press out into the band. I want to make sure that the band isn't so loose that you are opening up your knees wide into a big, go ahead and relax, abduction, okay? We've done that move before where your feet are together and you let your knees fall out, you go up, and then you press out into the band. I don't want this width, okay? Back to the glute bridge. What I want is for there to be enough resistance to where you can keep your knees in line with your hips and still press out into the band a little bit without it going super wide, okay? You're doing great. Keep going for me. Even if it burns, I want you to push through that burn. Fight through it and think, this is my muscle getting stronger. Relax. Good job. Back to the hammy. You're doing awesome. You're gonna rotate here. And let's go. Squeeze at the top. Slowly lower. Now, the further out your feet are, the more your hammies are going to get worked, okay? So try, if you can, to get it a little bit further out than you normally would. Now, if it feels like it's really messing with your form, then obviously bring it back in. And relax. Good job. Glute bridge. You're doing great, okay? Remember, if you're using a band, don't let your knees come together. You have to press out in that band to keep good form, okay? Rotate your pelvis. Ready? Let's go. Core is engaged. Slow Awesome. Tap them back up. Slow, slow, slow. Tap them back up. You're doing great. You're doing great. And relax. I don't know about you, but my glutes are on fire. They are on fire. Could be, but I did a leg workout for my normal, like personal workouts yesterday. That could very well be what's causing it. Here we go, hammies, last time. And down. You're doing great. You're doing great. Fight through it. Tell yourself you got this. Remember that pelvis should be rotated. Nice neutral position. Core is engaged here. Don't let it go. Wrap your baby up in a hug for me. And relax. Woo! Woo! Go ahead and take it off. Wow. Okay. So the next round that you have, again, you can wear a band if you want. If you're going to, I would use a resistance band, not a glute band. This is a glute band. I would not use it for this next round because we have a sumo squat and then we have curtsy. So sumo, you're taking an extended lateral reverse lunge, if you will, and then you're going to rotate your pelvis, slight hinge forward. That pelvis always comes in. All four corners of your foot are planted in this tuck. You're coming down, pushing up through your foot here. Now, the weight's in your heel. I want you to think about pushing up through the middle part of your foot, okay? Then for the curtsy, switching it back at an angle, up and down, okay? Now, one side, we'll get the other side the next time, okay? Go ahead and figure out your weight. 2, 1, let's go. Now, you can do a couple of different things for the weight. It's very similar to everything else. You can do 1 here, 2 here, load it up at your shoulders, or hold 1 at your chest, okay? I want you to make sure that you do have a wide distance here, okay? Not here, wide distance, right here. Sit in to this glute, okay? In the front. Let me show you from the side. Go ahead and relax. I'm gonna show you this real quick. Slight hinge, pelvis is rotated. You are sitting into this glute in the front. That back knee does not touch the ground, okay? Curtsy lunge. Whichever leg was forward, keep it planted forward, okay? Ready? Step it back and down. All right, and bring it back up. I will go through form, like I said, on the second round. Woo! Lost my balance on that one. That's okay too. If you lose your balance, just reset. You're doing great. Keep pushing for me. And relax. Woo. Other side. Now I'm going to talk through some form here, okay? So you're going to the other side for both of these next ones. I'm going to grab a sip real quick. Make sure you grab some water, okay? Take some sips, even when it's not the rest between, okay? Here we go. So for this one, like I said, wide stance. What I want you to make sure, toes are forward, knee goes in line with your toes, okay? No weeble wobble. Rotate that pelvis, slight hinge. Picture a chair right here, and you're going down to sit in that chair and pushing up, okay? All four corners of your feet in, weights in your heels, foot push up through the middle. Think of that, okay? Up through the middle of your foot. Go ahead and relax. What I want you to make sure of, for both of these moves, the knee does not touch the floor. It hovers, okay? It hovers above. Barely hovers above, okay? It might look like you're gonna touch, just don't touch, okay? Curtsy lunge, other side, same leg forward, all right? As the one that you just did with your split, okay? So for this one, what you wanna make sure of is when you step back, you're going in an angle back, okay? So you're not trying to step up here in line with your foot, it's at an angle back. Now, how far? Make it work for you. Okay, some people really like narrow in, and some people like a little bit further out. Now, do these work the glutes and quads and adductors a little bit differently? Yes, but you're getting essentially the same work. So whatever works best for you, okay? As you do this move, I know it's your rest, but I'm gonna talk through this. I want you to make sure that your knees still track in line with your toes, meaning I don't want them to weeble wobble, especially in that move, okay? Split squat, back to the other side. A lot of people, let me show you what I mean by weeble wobble real quick. A lot of people, when they do this, their knees will do this. They'll shift either down or when they're coming back up. And it might be like the whole way down, or it might be a quick shift and back in, and then no more for the rest of that move. That's a weeble wobble, okay? That's either knee valgus or knee varus. We don't want that, okay? We don't want that here. You're doing great. Go ahead and relax. We're gonna do just a couple more. All right, now, curtsy lunge, again, lunge. Whatever foot you had forward for that split squat you just did, keep it forward, okay? 2, 1, step it back. Now watch, I keep my knee here in the front, going the same direction my toes are. I'm not letting it bow in or bow out. I'm staying strong here. And if you want, you can stay right here, up and down. That way you don't have to keep messing with where your back foot is. Or you can come up, which is a little bit more work because you have to make sure you push up to come here, okay? So, modifications, same as always. Lessen the depth, lessen the weight, okay? Go ahead and relax. You have one more each side, okay? You're doing great. Breathe for me. I'm going back to that split squat. Remember, you have a small little chair you're trying to sit in, okay? Stay strong here, split squat, wide stance. There you go. Knee barely hovers above the ground. I do not want it touching the ground. I know some of you might be like, wait a second. I've had trainers where I've watched people online who have said, touch your knee to the ground. I don't want you doing that, okay? I know their purpose behind it because there is a type of lunge progression you can do where you do have your knee on the ground. But it's a very, very different type of progression. If you worked one-on-one with me, you probably have done it before. It takes a lot of control within your muscles, okay? Curtsy lunge. Whatever foot was just forward, you're doing that one again, okay? Now the reason why we don't want to touch our knee to the ground is because when you do that, you're actually stopping the movement. For a brief second, you're stopping that exercise and allowing those muscles to rest. So when you don't touch, you're allowing the muscles to stay under tension, therefore they're gonna get a little bit more work. Additionally, you have these bursa sacs in your knees, all right? If you hit them just right, go ahead and relax. If you hit them just right, whew, they aren't gonna be happy with you and they will hurt significantly, okay? Additionally, when you're down here, go ahead and grab some drinks. The next one that you have is calf raise, and then we're going to a kneeling position for a hinge pulse. But let me talk about this super quick. When you're down here, you have to have the right form and strength to get back up properly. If you don't, you're gonna wreck it, okay? We don't want that. Calf raises, right here, up, down. I want you to hold up at the top for 2 or 3, slow the lower down. Then you're coming down here, kneeling position. Rotate, slight hinge as you go into basically like you're doing a hitch standing, okay? You don't touch your glutes to your heels though. Up, down, very slight movement here, okay? Use weight for both of these. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, calf raises first. All right, now, you can hold weight here, you can hold one here, you can load them up at your shoulders for 2, or you can hold it down low for 2. Up to you. What I want you to make sure you're doing for this move though, all toes. A lot of times people will go up and they'll rock out onto their pinky toes. Make sure you're hitting that big toe. All right, hold it top for 2, lower 1, 2, 3. Up, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and relax. Next one, like I said, is that hinge, okay? So kneeling hinge pulse. All right, so this will take a lot of work out of those hammies. Rotate your pelvis, cores engage. Hinge back for me. Find that good hinge position and pulse 1. Notice how I'm not standing all the way up, okay? Go into the hinge, come up a little bit, push it back out. Up, out. I'm not coming all the way back up, okay? So So from the side, my feet are down. This gives me a little bit more range of motion. If you need stability for modification, prop your toes up. You just won't have as much range, okay? I don't want you coming up here. I want you to stay low a little bit, okay? Go ahead and relax. Going back up to the calf raises, okay? Let me talk a little bit through this. I want your feet underneath your hips. I was going to say underneath your heels. Underneath your hips. Go ahead and go. Rotate your pelvis, cores engaged as you lift up. Think all toes. A lot of times what I'm talking about, people will go up and they'll fall out onto their pinky toes. All right? I don't want that. I want you to come up, stay straight onto your toes. All right, toes are forward. Right here, up and down. I want you to hold up at the top for 2 or 3 seconds. Slowly lower back down for 3. Fight gravity, okay? Go ahead and relax. Coming back down for this. Get onto your knees. Feet are flat unless you need that stabilization and modification. Rotate the pelvis, cores engaged. You're coming into a hinge position. Weight will need to be out in front of you a little bit. You're raising up and down just a little. All right, wrap your baby in a hug here. Squeeze your glutes. All right, I want you to focus on stick the glutes back, let them lengthen, squeeze, lengthen, squeeze. I know that probably sounds really weird for me to be saying in like the motion, the pincher motion, but I want you to really visualize contracting those glutes. Make that muscle-mind connection, okay? Go ahead and relax. All right, you're doing great. I'm gonna take a sip. This is really hot in here. So, take sips of water, okay? Calf raise. Here we go. Now, if you're wondering, when do you use 2 weights over 1? It just really depends. If you feel like you need a higher or lesser weight than what you have, but let's say you have maybe 2 or 3 dumbbells, okay? If you need to go higher and you can only get higher in your weight by using 2 dumbbells, then use the 2. If you need to go higher and let's say you're able to go higher with only 1 dumbbell, same thing. And same thing for if you need to go lesser. That's when you choose whether you want 1 or 2. And sometimes people can control the form, come on down, a little bit better with 1 or 2. So it really just depends. Stick it back, slight up. Now, when you're sticking it back, I really want you to think that you are trying to tap your toes, but coming back up, okay? Trying to tap your toes. Now, what I mean by trying to tap your toes is you're aiming as if you're aiming for your toes, not your heels. Okay, if you aim for your heels, you're gonna under tuck. And I want you to think, push it back to tap my toes, slight up, back, slight up, okay? Go ahead, come on up, you have not bicep, wow. Calf raises, I don't know why I was thinking bicep curls. I mean, if you want to do some bicep curls with it, you know, just pump it out right there, feel free. Practice lifting that baby, right? There you go. You're doing great. I want you to breathe. There you go. Now I am getting other videos filmed for you as well that will help with labor and delivery prep and certain breathing techniques. Go ahead and relax for labor, and even ways to help ease labor pain or kind of like distract you throughout it. So make sure to go check those out in your bonus material. All right, here we go. Reach for your toes, really hinge back, slide up, hinge. All right, up, hinge. If you want to wear a band for this too, feel free. Get a little bit more work in those glutes. There you go. So again, you're not coming all the way back up to standing. Keep it under tension right here. All right. And relax. Woo! Good job. I want you to go ahead and grab a sip of water for me, okay? Grab some water. okay? Now, if you need to use a wall, chair, countertop, couch, whatever it is, go ahead and grab that for me, okay? What I want you to do, we're gonna stretch out our quads. So bring it back, hold it here. Now what I don't want you to do, as you're doing this, I do not want you to grab your shoe, your toes, the laces. I want you to grab above your ankle at the base of your shin, okay? Now if you can do this and bring your heel up to your glutes and you're like, I feel nothing, press your shin into your hand right there. And if you need to, keep pushing and lift it back a little bit. But I don't want you to pull on your foot, because when you do that, you're pulling on the ligaments and tendons in your ankle. That's going to lead to instability later. That's going to lead to injury. I don't want you to do that, especially while pregnant. Go ahead and switch sides. Man, come on. We already have enough problems with balance while we're pregnant, especially in the third trimester. So I don't want you to do that. All right. Doing great. Breathe. I want you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, calm it down. That's a good thing to remember as you're coming close to labor and delivery. Okay, even if you're going in for a C-section, okay, the way that you breathe can actually help relax you. So that's why one of the things, go ahead and relax. When it comes to, just step it out wide for me, I want you to come all the way down, as far down as you can go, okay? When it comes to the 360 breathing that I always talk about, like I said, that's the normal breathing pattern we're supposed to breathe. A lot of people don't breathe that way because life, okay, just the way that our life is with work or the kids, the way that we lift, if we have bad form, if we do this, that, or the other, compensations happen, and we get a compromised breathing pattern. The proper way that we breathe, the 360, is actually proven to help reduce stress. Go ahead and come on over to the other side, because of the way that it relaxes the nervous system. So one of the things that you can do also, so keep practicing that 360, but breathing in through your nose also helps relax you a little bit. When you breathe through your mouth, you tend to breathe a little bit heavier and a little bit faster. And the breathing through your nose helps slow you down a little bit, really get control over the breathing. So that helps you as well. So come labor and delivery, just remember, try. It can get hard. I know, trust me. It can get hard, but try and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, okay? Come on over to the other side. And go ahead and come on down to a very deep squat for me, all right? As low as you can get, that's comfortable. And just right here, sit. And again, focus on that 360 breathing here, okay? Go ahead and sit down for me. What I want you to do is kick one leg out to the side. The further out to the side, the more you're gonna get your adductors, and I wanna make sure that your toe is up. Lead with your chest here, okay? It's really good to not only work the adductors, but stretch them throughout pregnancy and even in postpartum. The reason for that is that the adductors, and I probably have said this before, so just mute me if I have, but the adductors actually can play a huge role in your pelvic floor because of the pull that they have on the pelvis. So if you're dealing with like SPD issues, pelvic girdle pain, pelvic floor issues in general, working on these adductors is one thing that will help as well. The glutes are, I mean, a lot of muscles are, but the adductors, glutes, some of the other hip muscles, go ahead and switch, are typically really good to work on to help. Because when it comes to the SPD stuff, which is that pelvic girdle pain, a lot of people will feel it right in front here. When you feel that, typically what's happening is you have this joint, the symphysis pubis joint. And that joint during pregnancy, when you have the relaxin surging through your body, it helps loosen up your joints. And that's one of them that it helps loosen. And so it helps loosen it basically so that when it comes to labor and delivery, it's easier for baby. Baby has a little bit more room because it moves a little bit more. But if you have muscles that are pulling on one side of the pelvis, when it becomes unstable, a lot of pain is going to happen. That joint does not like it when it's unstable. A lot of joints don't like it when they're unstable and they're being pulled different directions. But that joint specifically, and it can cause a lot of pain. Good job. Bring it on in right here. Gently bring it over and gently twist where it feels comfortable. If that's too much, you can also just put your hand here and slightly twist here, okay? Do what feels best for you. And switch sides. And one more thing we're gonna do, you're gonna come up for me right here, a low runner's lunge, okay? So I don't want you kicking this back knee up, ease into it. And go ahead and come on over to the other side. And go ahead and relax. Awesome job. Thank you so much for being here with me today and for pushing through with me. I cannot wait to see you right back here for our next workout together. I hope you have an amazing day, night, week, weekend, whenever it is for you, mama. And I will see you very soon.